Hi, I'm Tim Rylatt. I'm the Managing Director for UK Growth Coach, a business coaching firm based in West Sussex. This is part 2 of a 5-part video series I've put together on improving business cash flow. They're hints and tips and ideas that I've learned over a decade of business coaching and running companies of my own. Tip number 2, payment positioning. And what I mean by this is make sure first and foremost that you have up-to-date terms and conditions. Make sure that they are legally enforceable, make sure you understand them, and make sure most of all that they are clear and lacking ambiguity for anybody that actually reads and agrees to them. Make sure that you're making as much use as possible of automated debiting and standing orders for anything that has a repeat or regular payment pattern. Very often the reason cash flow problems arise is that literally your customers will forget to pay you, or conveniently forget to pay you, or unless you prompt them will forget to pay you. And in many cases, if you haven't got it automated, the option is always there for them to pay you later by choice. So automation, standing orders, anything you can do that's going to manage those regular payments or make sure they come in on time, really important. Do consider actually having some penalty terms as well. But that's not the main thing. The main reason why cash flow problems come about and why payment positioning is so important is because we don't talk about it. Particularly in Britain, it seems we're ashamed of having a conversation about money, that somehow money is a dirty word. Well, it isn't. It isn't. As a business owner, you're going to provide a product or a service. You're going to do all the things right in terms of service, delivery, standards, quality, all those things. That's what you're getting asked for. And there's 2 parts to a sales agreement. There's the part where your customer says, I want that, and you say, I'm going to give you that. And then there's the part for you as a supplier, which says, I want that and you're going to give me that. They're equally balanced, they're both important. The only difference is your part revolves around money. And you need to have that open conversation. Don't be shy about it. If you avoid it, it will come and bite you in the bum. So here's a few tips for actually having that discussion. Firstly, don't shortcut it. Don't make it a 10-second conversation. Have a good, confident, clear conversation. Run through any key terms verbally, make sure they understand them, explain why they exist, and reference it back to the part that they're getting in exchange for it. It's not all about the credit terms and how you get paid. It's I'm asking for that because you're asking for this. It's the balance. That's your part, this is my part. Let's make sure we both deliver what we're committing to. Look them in the eye. As an ex-police officer, I can tell you, it's the portal to their soul. And most people actually have a degree of pride or a degree of ethics about honesty. Even if when they're away from you, behind their desks and in remote, they actually are still bound by what they looked you in the eye and told you. So make sure they tell you. Look them in the eye, involve ethics. If you doubt them in any way, ask them to confirm to you verbally and looking you in the eye that they'll be paying on time and paying in full. And that they will be setting those arrangements up for standing order, or they will be going on to the regular payment systems. Make sure there's a degree of personal accountability and ownership. In other words, get rid of all the crap, all the rubbish where companies will say to you, oh, you need to talk to accounts about that. Well, very rarely was it accounts that made the deal. The person that makes the deal needs to carry some accountability. And if you involve them in that, then actually they will feel that responsibility, and often they will help you overcome that barrier. So don't just let it become you sold and dealt with one person over here, and then somebody else over here who doesn't know you from Adam actually is making all the decisions on whether you get paid. Connect the dots, remove that, becomes a much stronger conversation. And the final part is have a process and be clear. Set the tone early, but be fair. Don't be too draconian about it. Just say, look, as I understand it, this is what you're looking for. Here are all the points that you're asking me for. That's the part of the deal that I'll be providing for you. Over here, very clearly, these are the parts that are actually required by my side. This is what you'll be providing for me. Are we both in agreement? Are we both being honest? Let's move forward. Having those kind of conversations changes the dynamic of a working relationship and often will overcome some of those cash flow challenges that arise when they're not in place. I hope that this video has proven interesting to you. Obviously there are more in the series coming up, so please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're keeping an eye out for them. If you've got any thoughts or comments or some feedback from me on how you think this video is helping you or not, be delighted to hear it. If you need some help, please give me a call. My details are on the screen shortly. I'd be absolutely delighted to have a conversation with you.